Yeah.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we're live. We're just discussing the fact that Sean's staying in Texas. He got a senatorial campaign, the primary. So he'll be hanging here for a while. And if they win, then he'll be here. He'll be in this area. Well, he'll be between here and Wisconsin in November. And Wisconsin's already built in the money to fly him up there. So
Yeah, we got the Supreme Court race in April.
I know.
So is he going to split time or not? Last year, yeah, he worked on the Supreme Court race last year, right?
Oh no, he's had a contract ever since they finished that one. They had one for him to come in and work on this one. He's done a whole lot of work up in Wisconsin already. But see, a lot of what Sean does is in computers and it's getting people dispatched. And because he's worked in Wisconsin, he has people up there that he knows that he can trust, that he can figure out what they're doing. And he knows what the lay of the land is. Same thing about him working. He's going to be working primarily out of Austin for the Senate race he's working on. But the big news in Texas is right now, because Republicans have lost so many voters, that the voters who are crazy enough to have an R beside their name think Ken Paxton's a sterling individual, which is
great choice.
We're getting all the weather reports in.
How that man continues to, he's like Netanyahu. Just keeps getting away with everything and justice never happens.
That's true.
Maybe it'll finally happen when he loses. Because we're going to go with when he loses.
No, we're going. I tell you what, right now the numbers say he may win he is enormously ahead of Cornyn. He may win big there, but after that,
right? I mean the final.
Yeah.
In a sense, I think that would be funny if he won the primary.
Well,
from Cornyn.
his divorce testimony about his divorce got unsealed. So that should give whoever's running just a wonderful amount of National Enquirer sort of information.
It seems like Cornyn's willing to spend $100 million or more.
It's true. But Cornyn, see, people, I don't know if you've seen Cornyn, but I was shocked. I hadn't seen him like out talking and doing things for a while. He's aged 30 years in the last 10. And he's like 81.
Why the man would want to go again? Just retire. But
okay, we're getting questions in and we're checking them and we're checking on it. But before we start, I did roll a what's 2026 going to look like garden. And I will show it to you as soon as I can figure all my cameras out. Okay. For those of you who don't know the garden well, something I came up with, it kind of relates in part to tarot. It's a divination tool. This is the elements that we look at are earth, mind, spirit, grounding, and clarity. And the earth, the body part of this ended up in the element of earth. And it says many changes are coming. That's what that one means. And then the next one is mind. And the mind is between the heart and the solar plexus. And the mind says that power is connected through positive mental thinking. And the mind is being opened by the heart. Now, this is a universal for 2026, what we're going to see. So those two look pretty good. Then we get to spirit, which is between the root chakra and the sacral chakra. And in the root chakra, it means connection with spirit is needed in this situation. So we're going to have to deal more from our spiritual side than the other side. And in sacral, it means spirit inspires creative energy. This is saying there's a lot of new energy that's going to be coming into the grand plan of things. Then This is the best stone of all. This is the grounding, and it's pyrite. It's fool's gold. And it landed in water. And I love it when it lands in water. Grounding changes are now settling into long-term patterns. So the patterns that come out of 2026 are going to be long-term and be very helpful. And then the only iffy stone in here is our clarity stone. And of course, clarity is never, especially right now. How can you see in the fog? The clarity says part of the problem is right now, it can't tell me exactly how the dilemma is defined, but all the other stones are telling me we're moving in really positive directions. And I can't tell you, if you haven't watched me roll the garden, usually everything ends up in here. For so many to have ended up out in the chakra realm is great. And the other part of it is, this says that this is winter, spring, summer, and fall. Summer and fall are going to be the huge shifts because this tells time. This is one of the things I said, okay, universe, if you're going to make me create a divination tool, I want time on it. So we got time on it.
That helps.
So what'd you get, Scott?
So the first part, I get the Six of Wands. So we got a victory, some kind of celebrations, some good news. And then the Star, which I feel like is changes. There's hope for the future, but the first 3 months we're going to have the Eight of Swords along with it. So it's like, even though we have some hope and change coming, we're going to be blocked from moving forward the first quarter.
Right.
The second quarter, I'm getting people walking away, justice happening, and a lot of burdens on people. So that's what, April through June. We're going to see a lot of balancing with justice, people having to walk away, heavy burdens on many.
Carolyn Levitt's going to go home and have a baby.
Yeah, I heard that. The third quarter, I get the Hangman, Queen of Wands, and the Sun. Things improve greatly. The Hangman is people being stuck. It's kind of like
Or seeing it from a different perspective. You can view that too as you're kind of flipped upside down, so you're having to see things from a different perspective.
And the final quarter, everything's beautiful.
Yep.
10 of Cups, 8 of Wands, and Ace of Coins. So I think by the end of the next year, we're going to be in a good situation. Because everything takes time.
As we're all learning.
We
didn't get here overnight. We're not going to get out.
Yeah, it took 10, 11 months to get into fascism and this craziness we're in now, and near recession. It's going to take time to get out of everything.
I don't think we're near it. I think we're in it. Also,
well, they're hiding the facts.
And they're tearing up the IRS and all the other agencies. I got a letter from the IRS, and I sent in all my tax forms with all the subschedules behind it because I know how to do that. They're claiming I didn't send them a schedule.
Really?
Yeah. And I opened up my computer, and there it was sitting there looking at me, and I know I put it in the envelope when I mailed it in, because I mail mine in. I don't trust the electronic stuff. And so I have to fill it in. They said, you have to substantiate these business costs. Well, as Scott and I were just discussing, StreamYard, Zoom, and other electronic fees will eat your lunch anyway. So
yeah, it went up crazy.
Yeah. And
I figured out the issue. I decided to go with a free version. Well, the free version doesn't allow someone to stream. So Nancy's control.
I'm in control. And they're tearing Scott up.
Because you're still paying. So unfortunately, I'm just along for the ride.
That's okay.
I refuse to pay for the $32 a month. It's ridiculous. For once a week.
I'm going to share our first question. Given this came in through my posting that we're going to be on. What's going to happen to the U.S. and Nigeria? She's planning a trip at the end of January. So I'm going to put, when I read your question, Nivra, the first thing I saw was make your plans very flexible. But you never know, by January he may. So I'm going to see it. Would it be safe for I'm asking specifically for you. I'm not asking because I don't know where you're going. So.
Journey.
Mm-hmm. And I'm using my bunny cards. What'd you get?
It shows the chaos with the towers in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah. What I got is, there's been some real disruption and it was not a time to go, but now there's going to be people in place that will be keeping you protected. And you just need to make your mind up. Two of Swords, have your heart. But when you go, get ready for it to be very changed. I don't know whether you go over there on a mission or if you go over there because you have business or family or whatever, but you're going to find things are very, very changed.
Yeah.
But it says, yes, you can go. You'll be safe.
Yeah. In the past position, I had 8 of Cups, Tower, and 9 of Swords. So that's something that already happened, kind of bad. But then the current energy, I got a female, and that question was from a female?
Yes.
Okay, good. The Fool, so taking a leap of faith in a journey, and then Temperance. The Temperance kind of feels like, being on your toes, be aware, but things are good. And my outcome was 2 of Cups, King of Pentacles, King of Wands, and Page of Swords. It feels fine. There's a partnership there. The Page of Swords might be, look out for some things.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, it's a good reading, except for in the past, which has already occurred.
Right.
Another moving forward is the World. So that's travel. Ace of Wands is good energy, and the Hermit. Mm-hmm. And the Hermit would be like 2, introspection, being on toes, don't do anything silly. Generally it's a decent read, just like anytime traveling overseas, be an eye out on your your surroundings.
Right.
Be careful of your surroundings,
Well, people always say, oh, I'm afraid to go to this country or that country. When I was 17, I toured with a choir throughout Europe, and we were in France the week that de Gaulle decided to pull out of NATO. So there were all sorts of people rioting in the streets against America. There's all sorts of anti-American things written on the sides of buildings. And here we were, poor little American kids just trying to see Versailles, We don't know anything about that. We made it through. Actually, there were people who came up and who were really, really rude. We had a guy walk up on the stage when we were singing in a public park. He walked up on the stage and spit on one of the singers, which was really blah. And I was an alto, so we're always in the back so they don't get us. But man, what got that guy off the stage was people sitting in the audience watching. They pulled him down. And I mean, there were people, there was one of the girls in our choir whose grandmother was French, and she spoke French fluently. And she said what the people were yelling at the guy when they were kicking him on the ground was their parents came and saved us in World War II. How dare you do that? So anyway. Okay. Annie Bear, when will he be gone? And since you didn't put the he in there, we're going to not look at that one. But we will look at the next one, which may answer your question too. When will Trump be decertified of his presidency and his cabinets be gone? Do you think they're going to pull what I'd like to ask that is, do you think they're going to pull out the decertification?
I mean, I found this guy on TikTok, and I follow him for quite a while, and I didn't know it. He kind of escaped my following whatever videos, and I can't remember what he does. I think he might be a lawyer. But anyway, he posts about he gets these intuitive hits,
Mm-hmm.
and he gave examples how things have come true when he gets these hits. And he said in his intuitive hits back in September that he got this vision that the whole administration
It's gone in one place.
will be gone. He goes, I don't know when. It should be any day or this month. But he goes, I've been shown that they will be gone one way or another. And he didn't say District 45, 47. He said the whole administration. It's like, wow.
Yeah, well, the law they wrote, and they wrote it in Biden's term. And I've actually read this thing. A friend of mine who used to work in the federal court sent it to me. And what Biden proposed was that if a presidency and their administration got caught in stuff, it was the president and the vice president. And then, like anybody, they could prove that was part of it. And the proof was not something that was going to be a 9-month court case. It was like relatively swift. They would all be gone. Well, when the Republicans, quote, improved this law, they wrote it so that everybody goes, the entire administration. And that's the one that people are hanging their hats on.
Was that an executive order or something?
No, it was it's a legislative. I'll send you the analysis I have of it, Scott.
Okay, yeah, please. I haven't heard about that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, what I got is
when
they may be decertified, but they won't be gone. It's not going to happen swiftly. But boy, when it happens, are we going to see all the stuff that they kept hidden? But it's going to be handled with temperance. And it's going to bring out the Empress. It's going to bring out the nurturing part of our country. And it looks since it's a cups, I think it may be by summer.
Okay.
Summer starts the 20th of June, 21st of June.
Yeah. Okay. In the past, I get Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Swords, and Five of Wands. I get there with that. Wheel of Fortune will be change of fortunes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Five of Wands is kind of like there's the battle, and Queen of Swords feels legal.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's telling these three cards are telling me it's already universally in the progress.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This change is already in progress, but it's a matter of when, because this is a 5, and it's
when do we pull the trigger?
When do we pull the trigger? When does the universe pull the trigger? In the current 3 of Wands, 9 of Cups, 5 of Swords. Yeah, another 5. The loss is 9 of Cups. This is telling me you can see where the change is going to come from. It's coming from the Democrats. The help and assistance, and the 5 of Swords are the losses we can see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can see the chaos. We can see the problems with, the economy, with killing people, everyone losing jobs, bankruptcies. The savior's coming from the Democrats. Moving forward, we have an agreement with the 2 of Cups, Temperance. I think you said you got Temperance too, right?
Yeah, I did.
We got to wait a little while, and then Page of Cups, new offers, new things coming in. That's 2 cups. You said cups are spring or beginning of summer. Yeah.
Do we have any moderators out there? There's someone writing strange things.
Okay. My
Without
outcome is
backing it up.
10 of cups.
Good.
Yes, that'll happen. 4 of pentacles. I think that's like new cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Pentacles is like holding on to something. It's also my cabinet card. Chariot, taking charge, and it's Democrats taking charge. And 2 of pentacles. Figuring out how to do a new administration, back and forth, figuring out the new. So I'm thinking your timing's right. I'm getting a lot of cups too. The change will be done in the summer.
Okay, and let's see. Okay, this one's, I'm going to show this one. Hi, with FEMA supposedly canceled by the end of the year, what are the people supposed to do? Well, FEMA's not canceled because they can't, but they're not sending out any checks.
Yeah. We can see that right now with the flooding, horrible flooding in the West Coast, and they've all been denied FEMA funds.
I'm sorry, my statements aren't holding. This is another quote improvement that you can pick 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and somehow or another, all my statements got chosen at 10 seconds. So I've just tried to turn the timer off. We'll see.
It disappeared again.
It just disappeared again. Okay, let's see.
I never seen that option where.
Well, that's because you don't have a paid membership, Scott. Okay, we're going to go back into. Oh, here's one. This one doesn't have a timer on it. The Kennedy Center is suing jazz musician Chuck Red for $1 million for canceling his New Year's concert. He won't perform because of Trump and the name change.
I don't think it'll go anywhere.
I don't think so either.
Let's see what the cards say.
Okay.
Well,
I'm going to see if it's going to cost him any money from the lawsuit. Oh, I got a big fat no. No, because he's got to have good lawyers who are going to be ready to defend him. No, because it's the government. It's like you said, it's just bullies standing on their head. They're just pushing, the government's pushing that out there to trying to defend its decisions, but it's not a comfortable place for the guy to perform in. And it's just going to be struck down in the courts. So, no, I got no.
yeah, I think my first 3 cards show like there may be a precedent of suing from a government agency or something.
Mm-hmm.
6 of Cups. So it's like there might be a precedence I'm feeling from that.
Mm-hmm.
It may cause some stress and anxiety to Mr. Red with these cards, but I think he wins with the Ace of Cups in the end. A little bit of patience. The Tower type ruling comes against the government. So I don't think it goes through or anything, but just the harassment of a possible lawsuit is going to cause anxiety.
Zelensky's meeting with Trump. How will that go? Let's pick a side. Which side will go for Zelensky or go for Trump?
Yeah, supposedly they're meeting today.
Yeah, I know. Do you want to know? Do you want to look at it from Trump's perspective or Zelensky's?
I'm just going to do the energy of meeting.
Okay.
Not a person.
Okay. I don't even have to lay cards to tell you that one, but that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. The energy of Zelensky meeting the Trump administration in Florida today.
You know, the Europeans didn't want him to come because they were afraid Trump would do something to Zelensky.
Yeah, I know, right? No different than flying in to see Vladimir Putin.
Oh, this is interesting. The world's going to see Zelensky is very balanced. And they're going to see that it's going to draw attention to what's going on around his people. It's on the downside of the Wheel of Fortune, so he's not in a winning position. But out of it, it's going to grow a better sense of justice and the Two of Cups. It's going to force people to be stronger in their agreements with Zelensky, not necessarily at that meeting, but the atmosphere that comes out of the meeting.
The past position, if there may be some of the same, so I get the authoritarian type atmosphere from the Trump side.
Mm-hmm.
King of Swords, Page of Swords, Six of Cups. So it's like this authoritarian type feel is going to be there yet from our side.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get withholding of funds yet. So like Queen of Wands, 10 of coins, but then I get the 5 of coins. So like negotiations with money and then still no money.
Yeah.
So like I don't think we're gonna be coming up in agreement with money. The outcome, there seems to be some kind of agreement on the table. I think Zelensky already proposed something, so I think that's that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the agreement is Zelensky's coming with authority, but then there's some arguments about it. So I don't think there's anything settled. It feels like a better talk, but I don't see it being settled.
No, not at all.
It doesn't feel very fruitful.
No.
On the bottom, I have the
I think the only fruitful part of it is that how balanced Zelensky seems next to Trump.
Yeah, it feels okay. Not as bad as that last gang up.
Yeah.
But I don't see a deal being made because we favor Russia, right?
Do we? I mean, they have the PP tapes, so. Will Ivanka flip on Dad? Selling docs and I don't understand what that means. Worse betrayed because he loves her best.
I think it has to do with the documents case that Eileen Cannon is holding.
Oh, okay.
Because there's been, I mean, you remember back in 21, we had CIA operatives dying in the field.
Oh, yeah. That's how they figured out. That's when they figured out what was missing.
After 45 stole all the documents.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the question. It's kind of relating to that if Ivanka maybe has any knowledge.
Or Jared's little fingerprints are all over it.
Yeah, I would say Jared more so.
Does he have fingerprints? Do newts have fingerprints?
Yeah, I don't think Jared's a sentient being.
Okay. Let's see.
Will Ivanka
betray Daddy?
Betray Daddy. Will Ivanka betray? Ivanka betray Daddy.
Oh, does she? She's got the goods and she has the balance. Right now, she's being told not to do it. But she's going to. When it finally hits her group of people, she's going to do it. And she's doing it to protect her family, not him. And it's going to be some of the best information we get. Look at that sun come out of this. So when she flips, Dad's toast.
Okay. Okay. In the past, I do have. She was in the government the first term. So I get the Hierophant, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. So she has knowledge from when she was together with him in the first administration.
Mm-hmm.
So Hidden Secrets, Page of Cups, Emperor. So I think she has hidden secrets with that Page of Cups is the offer card, giving something up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she does have hidden secrets that she could tell. Moving forward, we have Judgment, Nine of Swords, Two of Wands. Judgment is an awakening. We're a lot of worries about moving forward. Anything on her that could be bad.
Mm-hmm.
The Two of Wands can be overcoming obstacles, future planning. So she would be looking out for herself in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
I get Five of Wands. So we got some opposition there, some petty conflict. Justice.
Mm-hmm.
So the law is coming. Death card, that's an ending of a situation. Eight of Pentacles would be giving up information to me, doing the groundwork, attention to detail. So it is possible. She would do anything to save herself.
Yeah, she'd do anything to save her family. Mm-hmm. Is there what is the secret tax on Social Security that is going to affect Social Security? Will it lower our benefits? I'm just going to ask if there's going to be a tax on Social Security, because
secret tax. What is this?
I don't know that there's a secret tax. They just tell you the amount you're getting, and it usually calculates against what I've been taught in the past was the number they start from. So.
Did you say it, or I heard that Social Security is going down when it should be going up a little?
Mine didn't.
There was a COLA update. It's supposed to be up,
but COLA never goes negative. COLA can't go negative.
But according to this, there's a tax that affects it, lowers it.
I haven't heard that. So I'm just going to ask, is there going to be a tax, something that's going to lower Social Security?
Okay. That sounds good. Is there a tax?
Oh, they thought about it, but they can't do it.
Is there a tax? But I thought Social Security was tax-free. No. According to 45, it's all free. No tax on Social Security.
If you're over 70 something, it is. Anyway, what I get is it's a mixed bag. They've looked at it. They're trying to figure out another way to steal from the middle class, but they're really afraid it's going to bring everybody out of their, oh, I'm sitting at home happy and healthy. People will notice this. Old people do check that dollar amount. We're going to be saved by the sun. It's not going to happen to us. And the last card is no change. There'll be no transition. So I get no. They're trying, but it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I'm getting the sense that I don't think so. But I think they're trying to cancel something that Biden administration did. That's the feeling I get. Like there was something the IRS did during the Biden administration they're trying to remove. Whatever that means.
I don't know.
This is just the sense I'm getting from the cards and feeling, but I don't think it's going to work or going to happen because I get Three of Cups, World, and Knight of Wands in the end. So these are all good, positive cards. Celebrating. The world is complete. Mm-hmm. Knight of Wands is good, positive energy. The Three of Swords is the current trying.
Mm-hmm.
Current energy. And
everybody's paranoid they're going to come They're going to come steal the gold out of your teeth. Are you kidding? I mean, these are not nice people.
Debbie's saying it's because of Medicare increase or something.
Oh, I mean, that could be. But mine didn't go up.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like Social Security is going to go down, but it could be something else.
Okay.
Like Debbie said, with Medicare.
How will we get to see Jack Smith's recent testimony? Probably on Canadian television.
Yeah. So yeah, Jack is publicly stating for Jim Jordan to release his testimony.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the question should be, is Jim Jordan going to release his?
Why don't we just ask, will we ever get to see the live testimony? Irregardless of the mechanism.
It was like 8 hours. He's going to sit around and watch 8 hours of a testimony.
Oh, I used to do stuff like that one of my old days.
Well, not the general public, you know. I just want over briefs. I don't want to hear 8 hours of him testifying.
No, what I do is I watch it taped and I speed through all the congressmen because they're the wasted space. I mean,
True.
We're going to get to see it. They're trying real hard to not let us see it, but it's good. And they're really working in the back rooms to figure out a reason to not. But it's going to come out, and it's going to be fruitful. It's going to share a lot of information Americans need, and it is going to bring a cry for more justice. So.
Yeah. Past position, I get Republicans want to block it.
Mm-hmm.
Moving forward, I do have good positive things with justice. Six of Swords, Justice, Knight of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
So legal actions will be fruitful to move it out in the open. But the energy shows it might be redacted somehow.
I saw some sort of someone in there editing and screwing with stuff. Yeah.
Because I get victory seeing it in 9 of coins, all the production, but then I got in the middle 5 of coins. So that's what popped in my head was there could be some redactions or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it sure seems like it's legally going to be able to come out. It may be through a court, you know, a filing to say, no, you can't, you know, like since the case is, you know, null and void, whatever right now. I don't think it's been changed. Isn't it able to bring the case again?
Oh yeah, that it was dismissed without prejudice. Brenda Robbins, you're not getting alerts on this sites or other from YouTube. Go in and look, open up your YouTube channel, go to this little settings button and see if somehow or another in one of the updates that came through on your phone, it turned off your alerts. That it did that to me once. And as soon as I hit it, all the alerts started coming back. And if that's not true, if you've gone to our sites and rung our bell and said, yes, you cannot wait for the dulcet tones of Nancy and Scott every Sunday. Well, you know, those are the only two things I can know. You can turn it off on your own. YouTube periodically goes through, and if you have a similar name to someone, they will block it. I mean, they just sort of do a big swipe and people get reversed. But, you know, check your settings for this show and then check your settings for YouTube in general, because that's where I found out I'd gotten cut off. And I have I love my phone, but it does stupid things. And I've gotten to know the phone people real well at the place. It did it again. Worst thing in the world you can ever get on my phone is an update. For a while, I couldn't get YouTube postings at all. I couldn't see big chunks of YouTube. And it was a flaw in the Samsung product, not in YouTube. So
yeah, I think it was last year. Some reason I couldn't figure out, and I think it was Samsung maybe, because I've always had a Samsung, but I wasn't getting my notifications from YouTube at all.
mm-hmm.
And, like comments or anything like that. And I had my settings right. And then like a few months later, they came back. No clue why. So there was an update or something.
Trust me, it makes us as crazy as dealing with them. Okay. Okay, this is, when will the military and Coast Guard stop following presidential orders regarding Venezuelan? Not anytime soon, baby. I spent the day after Christmas, I had breakfast with my master commander friend who was a spy. And he and I had a long talk about what's going on with the military and Trump. And I won't bore you with all of it, but they're not happy. But he's amazed at some of the people he worked with that have gone in and are working with him.
That are going along, you mean?
Mm-hmm. He had one guy try to recruit him to come into the administration, and he was like, yeah. It's like, no, I don't think so. I mean, I already got cancer from being in the green zone and being next to the bullets and things that had radiation in the metal. So no, I'm not. I'm surprised they want him back because of his cancer, but he said they did.
Military. Eventually it'll come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting, they're following along.
Well, they can get shot if they don't follow along. So they kind of have a different priority.
I'm getting 2 pages along with the 8 of Swords. So I think they're beginning to, either look for new things, look for better directives because of the worry there. And it's going to come to an end.
Yeah.
Either 3 to 4 weeks or March, April, something, but
well, that's the mechanism that takes over when they throw the whole presidency out. It's military plus civilian tribunal. So the military will be pulled into that instead of its normal role.
That's the outcome. My 3-4 wands card with Tower and complete loss.
Right. So
there is going to be a abrupt stop to what's going on. Timing, I don't know. My 3-4 means either 3 to 4 weeks or 3 to 4 months. So eventually, but they seem to be, I would think so too, on edge of what's legal, what's not legal, how to protect themselves.
Yeah, they saw the Nuremberg trials. It was mostly generals in uniform people that were there. Rubio said he will support Vance if he runs for president in 2028. I'm surprised. Does Vance have the GOP support, or will he have it by then?
I guess Rubio was asked if he'd run for president in 28, and he basically deflected and said, not if Vance is.
Right. See if Vance is going to be around in 2020. We could ask for Vance being around in 2027. That's even more interesting. How do you want to word it?
I'm trying to think. I'm just going to go with Vance.
Okay, if he's going to be around in 2028?
Will Vance be the
Okay.
GOP nominee? We'll see if that energy's there. Because I have multiple people in a question kind of makes it hard.
Mm-hmm.
Vance.
I get a no.
That's what my guides are telling me before I threw cards. No.
He wants it though. That's the one good card in this reading. It's his goal, but he can't figure out how to get from here to there. When I see this card, it means you've got all the pieces and you know what you need to do, but you can't figure out how to put them back together. And no, there's going to be huge changes. It's going to be a huge change. I got 2 change cards. I got 2 5s. So no, there's going to be big changes. So he's not. That's going to be the problem for him.
He wants it, but he's delusional if he thinks he's going to have it.
Yeah, well.
Because then I get the King of Swords, so that's an authoritarian figure. No one likes this authoritarian stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going with losing a delusion there. There's a lot of bad energy for him being the nominee in 28. So his victory, his good news is not there at all. 5 of Wands and the Dark Knight coming up for him. Outcome is for something better. I got the Magician, my Angelic card, and then 5 of Swords. He's abusive. He's got betrayals on him. So it's like, I feel like Spirit's not going to allow him to be that nominee kind of thing. So I think he's going through some hard times before that even happens. So right now, no. I'm getting Vance will not be the nominee. Rubio, I don't think will, unless he distances himself from all this administration and what he's allowed to happen.
I don't think Rubio has a chance. I think all of Florida is so messed up when they start really digging out and showing what happened in Florida, and he was in the middle of it. No. I don't even know what to ask anymore. It's all so messed up. Well, fortunately, some other people do, Drew. So they'll fill in for you till you get your head.
True. Very true, Jeff.
Yeah, I agree. And we're getting a lot of people who are posting the same things twice. That does not help me. Oh, here's someone who's giving you Nivra. She wouldn't. Laura, if you're in Austin, Texas, you don't need to go anywhere to live in the middle of a disaster. And I live in Dallas, so I'm not picking on you.
Hi, Kathy. How you doing?
Yeah, that's true. Well, this is true. Both China and the U.S. are messing with Nigeria, but Nigeria is a big country. That's like saying something happened in New Jersey, but you were going to Oakland, California. You know, it's not. Do what you feel safe doing. Oh, this is interesting. My body changed so much in the last year. Is this part of the new energy or old age? Others may be experiencing this. It's both. I don't know how old you are, Isabel. But the new energy is changing how our bodies receive things.
What I sense is like your body will change with your vibration. So if you're lowering your vibrations, you're going to have more issues. If you're raising your vibrations, you're going to be healthier. So it depends on, if your spiritual change has happened, you should be overwhelmingly have a better feel.
Yep.
My struggle in 2025 was H. pylori, getting a bug. Can't control those things.
Yeah.
it's taken most of the year to try to get over that.
Did they finally find the right combo for you?
It got rid of it, but it's just getting your stomach back to normal again.
Yeah, getting your biome back.
It's been, I don't think I'm completely 100% yet, and this has been 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough on your stomach, big time.
Did the Republicans get a visit from Krampus? And how many should have? Oh, 93%.
What is Krampus? I don't understand that.
Krampus is the opposite of Santa Claus. It's a German thing, and he looks like it's a dark Santa that the Germans have. And I have friends who don't like to celebrate Christmas, but they do celebrate Krampus. So,
but did any Republicans post Christmas
didn't.
pictures with guns this year?
Well, that's a Krampus move. Somebody says France revels in chaos. It happens every other year. Vive la France. The farmers are real, though, Wheezy Squeezebox. They're doing what some of our farmers should have done a while ago. They start having their farmland messed with.
I had a notification this morning. It was kind of misinformation, but someone I follow, friends with on Facebook, posted it. She said that France was going to try to indict Musk.
Good.
For what do you call it?
Well,
interfering with the election, but it was misinformation. Paris prosecutors are investigating Twitter X for allowing the misinformation into elections. Kind of like the EU fined him. France wants to do the same thing, not necessarily indict Musk. Fine the company through court proceedings through misinformation in their elections. So anytime you see anything on Facebook or wherever, you got to fact check it before getting all excited that France is going after Musk. They're going after Twitter.
Yeah. And that's not the same thing, sort of.
Yeah.
Well, I have people asking about Trump taking a dirt nap. We're not going to go into that anymore. And this is the French government's afraid of the French citizens. They do like to run around the streets. That's true.
Is afraid. That might be why.
Yeah, it's a smaller country, and they just fill in and they make businesses do things.
Yeah, it's like a lot of countries have. I mean, my friend in Sweden tell me about their stuff. They get paid better, but the taxes are very high to pay for everything.
Yeah, but their taxes go back into civil things. They don't go. Right. They're about to start going into military stuff with some of the changes that's happened.
But if you have health issues or college is free, school is free for the kids. It's very good for if you have kids. But as anyone in society should, be willing to give up their tax money for their country as a whole, but it helps the kids out a lot. But there is that struggle of getting into see a doctor. That she said she has issues with prognoses, getting meds they want or referrals. It's very time consuming. It isn't like bang bang, get your stuff done and you're cured. It's like wait, hurry up and wait.
And there's some things can take longer to have done. I had a sister-in-law in England that waited a year and a half to get her knees replaced. And when they decided mine was the point of being needing to be replaced, I was told in October and I had the surgery in February. And if I'd have been only doing one knee, it would not have been nearly that long, but they did two at once. And that's a special thing that you have to go through. Anyway, so I'm trying to decide about.
But there's been many studies I've read and done. If the United States went to a universal healthcare system, it would save a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. If you got rid of the middleman, the insurance people in the middle and all of their, my brother retired from practicing medicine when he was paying more for insurance clerks to try and get his money out of the insurance companies than he was paying for his malpractice insurance. And he was an anesthesiologist, which has the highest malpractice insurance in the country. Just saying. And then
But could you imagine, like in Europe, in other words, getting, when you had your children, getting a year off to take care of them?
Oh, no, I mean, trust me. I had a boss one time who was waiting outside saying, bring the kid in the crib to the office, and it was a nasty office. You wouldn't want your child in. Okay. Carrie, Dems are not our saviors. They refuse to investigate. That's not true. I hate to tell you, kid, but I know Dems who have investigated it. There's a lot of information out there. I think a lot more is going to break about it, but I don't say, what are you going to replace them with? Okay, this one's, I'm not going to argue with the chat all day, but I'm from Ohio. We can't figure out how JD won the Senate seat. I understood that. And I'm not even sure they're looking into it. Cash Peters, this is an energy read that still haunts him. He got pushed in with a lot of money. I can tell you how he won. He got bazillionaires behind him, and they virtually made you think no other candidate was running. You want candidates you want to vote for, get the big money out of politics. And that's what McCain-Feingold was about, and killing McCain-Feingold. And when Mitt Romney said, companies are people too, when they said, companies shouldn't have money in there. The only way, I used to always tell people when they'd get on me about this, there's many more of us as individual voters than there are individual corporations. It's only when you allow yourselves to believe that your vote has no reason to be there that they win. Whenever the numbers are high and the voters get out, that's when we win. I mean, that's when more balanced government comes in.
Yeah, that's the problem. What year was that? Wasn't it Bush Kerry was the big controversy in Ohio?
Mm-hmm.
That there should have been an investigation into Ohio in 2004?
Yeah, Ohio's been a machine for a long time. Illinois was a machine for a long time. Illinois, we were talking about this the other day with someone. It was when I was out Master Commander. He really likes Pritzker as a governor, standing on the outside, not living in Illinois. And I have friends living in Illinois that really like Pritzker as a governor. But we were talking about the governors who are really doing a good job. But Pritzker's not viable. I mean, the man's a gazillionaire before he got there. But that was after they had elected, what was it? They had 6 governors in a row, or maybe 5, that went immediately to jail after leaving the office. My brother, who was a lawyer in Illinois at the time, says, we just need to pass the law that they have handcuffs waiting for them when they walk out of the office.
Yeah, that's the problem with our elections right now. Democrats need to vote too big to rig in order to secure anything.
Well, that's the trick Sean used when they went after the Supreme Court seat, the one that was after the last election. He went to, in his area of Wisconsin, which was Green Bay, Appleton, and that, I don't know your state well enough, but I know it's over there. And they got the unions to agree to pay for them to solicit the 30% of voters who did never vote. They're registered to vote, but they don't vote. And this is something Sean and I found when we were running city council races in Dallas. You go to people and you go show up on their doorstep and say, this is your candidate. What do you need to know to learn how to do to vote? And people just don't know. Some places they just don't know how. And in all those cases, we changed the numbers in our races because we went after voters that everybody. And what happens now, if you go to your typical consultant, they'll go, oh, those guys don't vote. Don't waste your money on it. Well, how do you know unless you go spend the money? That's one reason why Sean got immediately signed to another contract to come back to Wisconsin, because he woke up this whole sleeping population, because they expected that Supreme Court justice race. They didn't think they'd have an announcement till after midnight. And they announced the winner at 8 p.m. And the difference was they could go through and see, we solicited these people and they showed up and voted.
Mm-hmm.
So, grab your 3 friends. Well, people learned long ago not to say things to me like, I don't want to vote because I might make a mistake. That's not a good thing to say to me. The only mistake you can make is not voting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How do voters feel about corporate Democrats? Better than corporate Republicans.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel that shift towards progressives.
Mm-hmm.
The general feel for any Dem is really good right now. You can see with all the elections going 14 to 20% positive towards Democrats, but I think the energy, mainly with the youth, feel more towards like a AOC or a Bernie type, because they want change. They want to be able to afford to live.
Okay, this is interesting. Florida's DeSatan has proposed removing property tax. How will we pay for the amenities this income paid for, now that he's chased all the tourists away?
He really wants to burn up that state.
Yeah.
You can't afford insurance. Now he wants to remove property taxes. It's not possible. They would put it into something else. If you remove property taxes, they're going to have another tax to cover it. It's just a trick. So I don't see it happening.
Well, I don't see that. I mean, if we want to live together, we have to learn how to live together. Okay. People, we've answered about Jack Smith's testimony. You do not need to post any more questions about Jack Smith's testimony at all. We answered it over half an hour ago. I realize, Rose Blue, but how many fingers of theirs do you have to break before they sign the check? They have to, their court's telling him he has to do all sorts of stuff.
I'm trying to think of the rule. I think a small percentage has to be given out, supposedly. But, upon request, but anything over can be denied by the president. Like Biden always gave out, the max to help. I can't remember what the percentage is in disaster, but they're going to have to sue to get the money. Because this administration are jerks.
And a lot of the cases that the feds are in are going through so quickly when it's to the benefit of citizens, it's sort of spinning heads. Does Barry Weiss, the editor-in-chief at CBS, who is making this disastrous decision, do you want to know who that person is?
Well, she's the editor. She should be making a decision. Trying to think how to.
I'm just going to see. I'm just lay out 5 cards on who she is.
Okay. Barry Weiss. What do we need to know about Barry Weiss?
Well, she's not long for being with us. She got 2 nights. She moved in with a lot of, this is her not moving away quickly, but there's 2 nights. And when nights show up, things are moving quickly. She doesn't want to end up in prison. So she may actually moderate rather than please the crowd she's pleasing. But she really doesn't. I tell you, her opening card is she doesn't give a damn what we think or how we feel.
Great. I'm getting she got paid big dollars to make change. And then I don't think this is who she actually is, but she's going down that dark transition because of money. It's kind of like how the Republicans are now doing felon 45's bidding. She's doing someone else's bidding. Whoever bought CBS or Paramount, whatever. And she'll continue to do it. It's kind of like Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity doing Rupert Murdoch's bidding. The Ellisons or whoever bought it, Paramount, whatever it is. So in a sense, in her contract where I feel like she's restricted on what she can do. She's being told what to do, and she's doing what she's doing, but she's going down a dark path. Because I don't think this is who she truly is. But she made the switch, kind of like J.D. Vance. Trump is Hitler. No,
I don't see her being at CBS very long.
It didn't the cards didn't show. But here she's going on the dark path, so she won't be lasting if she's going dark side. Will she last? Money, stress and burdens, and I do have an end at some point. Yeah, with the death card, Wheel of Fortune, change, and then loss. So eventually, at the end, yeah, I think she's gone. But she's gonna hold the line right now. Yeah, there we go. Liz said, I heard Barry Weiss is beholden to Ellison. She does what he says. And that's what the reading just said.
Okay, I'm going through trying to pick out some questions here, Scott.
Sure.
And it's not doing it very well. Where'd it go? Okay. I know.
Coffee's still hot.
Yes. That does not change, Scott. You'd think we'd have figured that one out.
Well, these thermoses keep it pretty hot for quite a while. It's been in, an hour and a half, and it's still hot. Oh, I know, right, Beth? Michael Cohen always kind of avoids the topic of Epstein on podcasts and whatnot. I think I stopped following him because I think he's lying about certain topics.
I know it's not a matter of him lying. It's just he would lie for that guy before, and he is a bully, and so he's now our bully. That doesn't make me fond of him. Okay, I'm looking for the ones I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. I'm not as quick as Scott as this. Okay, this one's a high. And so we had a bunch of questions about Barry Weiss. Same thing.
Yeah, Coastal Crone. The only reason I got Paramount is for South Park.
I find it on YouTube. Does Erica Kirk want to be the first lady someday? Of course.
Yeah, let's do a full read on Erica.
Okay.
I kind of am interested about.
She managed to break up the whole meeting, get everybody at each other's throats last weekend. Go, Erica, go.
Her fake tears are astounding.
Mm-hmm.
I do it.
Yeah, I'd be crying all night if my husband had said I was over the hill and then he got shot the next day.
Oh. Yeah, 33's over the hill. 33's over the hill, according to Mr. Kirk. Tell me about.
I'm more than twice that, and I can tell you there's a lot more hills up there, guys. She's pretty hollow. She wants to run her own fate. She wants to be in control of her thing. She's out of balance right now. She's looking for money. I know she's got money, but she doesn't think she has quite enough. And she's always going to try to put up a temperate face for the crowd she's speaking to. But this woman has no sense of justice or balance. So I think she's a pretty hollow being.
Hollow being.
What'd you get?
Okay. I get future planning, soul searching, and trying to create something for her own. With the Eight of Pentacles. I get Two of Wands, Hermit, and Eight of Pentacles. So she's planning for the future, doing her own self-discovery, and then practicing her own craft. So she's trying to create her own grift beyond what Kirk did. She's trying to take over. And then I get King of Swords, so a male professional, protecting what's hers, and then burdens and responsibility. So there seems to be a struggle within TPUSA in what she's trying to do. There's a man opposing her. And then I get Judgment. So she's going to be judged for who she was in the past and whatnot. Six of Pentacles is giving and receiving, being paid. And then Five of Cups, regret, loss. What does that mean? Because she's not acting like someone of loss. This is saying she wants to change for the better, but we're not seeing it. We're not seeing the emotional breakup. It doesn't make any sense here with that, but that's what it's saying. Her outcome, being charming with the Knight of Wands, being energetic, strength with courage, Four of Swords is recuperation, time out, and then Ace of Pentacles. I think she's just doing whatever she can to be the leader of this TPSA and everything else, in whichever way it takes, whether it means just lay low at times and then come out strong at times.
Mm-hmm.
This whole reading feels like she's just a grifter. She wants power. But I don't, even though I got the 5 of Cups, I don't sense the grief and loss in her. I just sense there's some, I do get the burdens there of her taking over, because there feels like there's infighting. She's a shallow person.
Mm-hmm.
As far as first lady, I'm not seeing a first lady in this spread. I'm seeing power and energy to put things her way, and I think it's TPUSA or whatever organization she's leading.
Mm-hmm.
It's not showing first lady. She wants to be, I don't know, like the next Oprah, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she wants to be the next power woman known. In a sense, it feels like she was jealous of Charlie
Mm-hmm.
because he had the recognition, he had the power. She was just the wife behind the scenes. And now she's got that opportunity to be the queen
Yeah, I
bee.
don't think she's handling it very well, though.
Right.
Not hanging on to the Maybelline queen.
Yeah. She's doing it the wrong way. However,
Larry Ellis owns Paramount, TikTok, CBS. That should be illegal. You're right. And when we get a Congress in that's a real Congress instead of owned by everybody, then it will change again. I remember, I'm so old. I remember that when they set up the broadcasting stations. Now, I don't remember when they did all that because I was like 2 or 3, but when they really set them up, when the law was that like a major newspaper could not control the TV in a city. And that changed in my adult lifetime because Dallas Morning News ended up owning WFAA. And that cuts down what influences you're going to hear and see in your news every day. So we need to go back somehow and get rid of that. What do you think, Scott? I don't think we need to lay cards on the fact these guys are unfair.
No. I was Googling here the TikTok deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's done in it's not completed yet. The sale.
Okay.
According to AI overview. The operations to American investors is signed as of mid-December, creating the joint venture, but it still awaits Chinese government approval and regulatory clearances.
Oh, then they could be here forever.
Which is hopefully going to be done the end of January.
Uh-huh.
But it's not completely done yet. In name or in theory, it's completed, but China hasn't signed off yet.
Okay.
Because I didn't think it was done, but
I don't watch TikTok, so I don't care. But I know a lot of people are influenced by it all over the world.
Yeah, it's not bad if you find the right people and get your algorithm right, because if something weird pops up, I just block, and then it stays. My algorithm stays fine. I usually just see the videos on my people I follow. I rarely go to the For You, which can get murky, and you'll start seeing some lies and.
Oh God, I'm almost afraid to open up my Facebook because I opened it up, and up in the shorts there was images of anal sex, with "Thank you, Obama."
Oh my
And I mean, I had enough sense of human anatomy to know what I was looking at. I'd never seen it before. There's I made it to 76 without being polluted. I wrote Meta and I said, "What the hell is this?" SHIT, literally.
I rarely go on Facebook because all it does is make me mad.
Yeah. And everybody just getting ripped off by fake Facebook Marketplace. Okay. Why is Penn Shapiro wanting to keep
Yes,
the real election results under wraps?
All right. Is the internet back?
Yeah, you're back. You're kind of going in and out, Scott. Do we care about?
Come back to us.
Okay. Why is Shapiro wanting to keep the results under wraps? I can tell you what one computer security specialist told me. They do that so that they can plug up the holes before it goes. Yes, Scott, you're making some wonderful faces.
We're having internet problems.
We are having internet problems.
Okay, I can see you moving now.
Okay.
Pennsylvania Shapiro.
I've heard that the reason that they do that, one of the reasons they do that is to plug up the holes before they can go hide them other places. But I don't know. I don't live in Pennsylvania. I have enough problems where I live.
I guess the question is, Nanette, has Shapiro allowed investigating of their election?
They have. And there was a big ba-ba, we found this stuff, and then nothing.
Yeah. If I was a Democrat governor, I found problems, especially when your senator lost to a right winger.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know for sure. So
okay,
yeah,
let's ask if Shapiro does have some results that can make a difference.
He feels like one of those corporate Dems. Okay, what is holding back Mr. Shapiro about the election results?
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting the reference of same reason why Jeffrey Epstein got a sweetheart deal in 26.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's being told by someone above not to go any further.
Okay.
That's the sense I'm getting here.
What I got is the high priestess and the world together. So there was all kinds of underhanded things happening in it. And it just got stopped. It was not allowed to move forward with the truth. And now it's starting to cause problems. And I think it's maybe goes back to the Seven of Swords. They're trying to figure out how to stop it without revealing everything that happens so that it can't go switch around another way.
That's what I feel too.
Yeah.
Try to fix a problem without revealing the problem.
Right.
Because I get two. I think he knows
Mm-hmm.
through checking or whatever that there was that loss. Seen the victory, took charge, but sad about the loss. I think it was shut down.
Mm-hmm.
The ones, the power and energy, looking into it, there's a tower, and then the loss. So I think anything he was wanting to do, or his Secretary of State, whatever, was shut down. Outcome, revealing the truth would be a disaster. That's what I'm getting here. King of Cups, the Sun, and the Ten of Swords. Revealing the truth would be a disaster. So that's what I'm sensing here, is that fix the problem for next time.
Yeah.
Not revealing the truth.
And I don't know what Pennsylvania's laws are like, but if they find out the truth, you may just be stuck with the wrong outcome because you was declared by thus and so day.
The last I seen, Election Truth Alliance had filed a lawsuit in Pennsylvania to see if a judge would go along with a hand recount.
Well,
I think that's the problem. They try to fix one problem, but then there's another problem.
Will we ever have a Congress this year? Will Congress return on the scheduled date in January?
Oh, you mean, will Grinder Mike Johnson bring us back? Bring the House back? Okay. Will Congress? I'm sensing he's going to have to later for sure, because the government will shut down again end of January. So the original date was the 5th or something. It feels like it might be a little bit later, a couple days or whatever. But he's going to have to come back.
Yeah.
Or they're going to have to come back.
Yeah, he's going to stall it a few days to stop Marjorie Taylor Greene from showing up. But they're going to push it through. There's going to be a lot of people saying, we just got to do this, guys. We can't live with the kind of regrets we're going to have. And it's because of the money needing to be let out. And it's going to all work out for the best, the Nine of Cups. So I think it's going to be later than what they think, but maybe not by much. What do you get?
Restricted from moving forward. 8 of Swords, 6 of Swords, 5 of Coins. Struggles. He's torn. It's like he's beholden and he doesn't want, or he can't, because of pressure, to move forward. Keep us all in poverty. Keep us out of lack of action.
Well, they found that's the fastest way they cannot have any changes happen is by keeping Congress out. They're not doing a real good job of keeping the Senate from not being there, but
I don't know. But I think eventually he's going to be forced to come back. King of Swords, doing the right thing with my angel card, and then doing the work. 4 of Coins is my House of Representatives cards too. So
okay, here's a positive thing. Women's March is on January 21st. Circle it on your calendar. It's only 3 weeks away.
Get out there, peoples.
And how can we change the Supreme Court? Change Congress, get Congress open again?
Through Congress. Democrats be in charge and create a law to expand the Supreme Court. It's the only way. Law to expand, law to, term limits, all that good stuff. So that's the only way. Like I said, or we predicted before, that Joe's not going to do it on his own. People are calling for him to do it, an executive order.
Someone's already planning to vote for David Jolly in the midterms.
Get someone better.
And we got one more I want to do, Scott, and then we're 1:30, and you and I can throw a card for the day.
Root out corruption. Get rid of Democrats or Republicans.
Mm-hmm. Will AI be regulated?
Yes. It's already causing chaos. Just seeing, the energy use, the problems that it can cause with fake videos and all this stuff. AI can be nothing but, what do you call it? Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge porn. That kind of stuff. So yeah, it'll be regulated. I don't think it's going to expand as high as they want.
Mm-hmm.
These data centers and all the energy it uses is ridiculous.
Oh, it's nuts.
And people are going to fight back. So yeah, I think it'll be regulated.
Okay. And this is my last comment for me for today from Barb Wheel. I don't have time for people who don't vote. Yeah, you do. You need to go show them how to vote. I had a friend who had a lot of friends he knew really didn't vote. So during early voting, he invited them over to his house for an early evening meal. And then they noticed there was a van outside. And if they wanted to eat, they had to go vote. He put them in the van and made them go vote. And mind you, he had been a non-voter and an expat for a while. He learned. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to pull something fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull from my favorite oracle cards, Denise Lynn's Sacred Forest. Somebody put in here, teal is evil. Teal is teal. We just need to find ways to curtail what he controls. That's all.
Okay.
What you got?
I pulled 2 from my EP Oracle card deck.
Oh, good.
The 2 cards that came out together are saying, one says you're not learning your life lessons, and the other one is the mysteries of our soul is through our choices, dreams, and interests. So what I'm getting from those 2 together is that if you want to understand your soul path, you want to understand your dreams, you need to listen and you need to learn and do better if you're not learning your life lessons, because everything flows together with raising vibrations, learning from the past, making better choices. And the other 2 from this deck is the Page of Michael and the Emperor. That's the Page of Swords in the normal deck. But these are more inspirational than negative. But the Page is like what it takes for you to succeed. And the Emperor says stability and efficiency, taking charge of a situation, and ambition plans. So to these, it means together is taking a risk, taking your new challenges. And a new challenge can mean just showing up to a party or showing up for a friend or whatever. It brings things together when you take certain risks and challenges, going for a new job you've seen or whatever. It makes flow work because you're making energy happen, right? So that's what I get there.
Okay, what I got is Enchanted Fern Grotto, and the thing is refuge. It says, when you're in the spirit of the enchanted fern grotto, retreat and replenish your inner resources. Now is not the time to act, but to incubate your ideas for the future. Be still. Answers are within you. The magic is all around you. And not that I know astrology all that well, but we got a big bunch of changes coming up astrologically. Among other things, we're gonna have a stellium, which is a bunch, 3 or more stars in one sign in Aquarius. It's coming up, and it's just going to be jammed, just jammed. All the planets are going to be up in there, and you might take a casual look at your chart if you know how to do that and think about it, or watch some of the better astrologers. But my sense is it's going to be peaceful now because we're going to have to move quickly. And that's what the refuge is telling you. Get inside yourself what you know you need to do. I spent a long time talking to a reader about this yesterday because a year ago they were losing it over Trump, the whole thing. And I said, you're going to spin your wheels doing politics for the next year, and it's going to get you nowhere because it's going to take a year to figure out how bad it really is.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I show up every Sunday and do politics, but also...
At least it's only once a week.
Yeah, I only do it once a week. Still have time to do 12-month readings. Still have time to come get regular readings. As Scott has mentioned, all of the services that I have to use to try and communicate to you have gone up. I've had memberships. They were activated for a while for certain very important reasons. I may have to activate them again because right now I'm losing money, and Scott has to drive his truck the other days of the week. And, we're not making 100,000 members and getting that. And if you guys should think about how much people make, I make just enough money to either cover Zoom or StreamYard or one of the other electronic services that I'm connected to. So, guys, I know it's a tough year and everybody's groceries have gone up and everything else, but anybody who can slide a little money our way, I'm going to start buy me a cup of coffee underneath my name.
Well, slide it to Nancy. I got a job. I'm lowering costs on this end. But speaking of astrology, go to space.com or wherever, or just Google pictures of Pluto. Voyager or whatever was out there just put up some new photos that they finally got back as it passed Pluto. It's crazy. All the pictures.
You see the big heart? The big heart?
Yeah, the heart. Yeah, they found a heart on Pluto, and it's got like 5 moons and one's bigger than the other. It's pretty neat.
Do you know we're the only planet that can see its moons from the surface?
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
Well, first of all, Jupiter doesn't have a surface. Jupiter is just a big gas thing. And I think Saturn's the same way. But Pluto and all those guys, yeah, they got moons. Mars has moons, but they can't see them from the surface. They're too tiny.
Well, go check out Pluto.
Go check out Pluto. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Look at stuff like that. Don't read the headlines.
Blessings, everyone. We'll get through this.
Okay, bye-bye.